Right, we are going to be looking at the limit command in SQL. And the limit command allows us to limit the number of rows which are returned for a query. And it's always useful for not wanting to return every single column in a table. So for that reason, we may only but view the top few rows to get an idea of the table layout. So therefore, limit becomes useful in the combination with order by. Right, so limit goes, and when we are using the limit command, it goes at the very end of a query request and is the last command to always be executed. So let's learn the basic syntax for limit through some examples. And so we are going to get into our pgadmin to begin to practice the limit command. Now, when you head over to your pgadmin, we have in the tables, we have here the payment table. So we are going to be working with this payment table. But first of all, let us select the whole columns from our table here for our payments table. Now, if you execute this query, we have about 14,596 rows which have been displayed here. Now, when we are to use the limit command, you can always use here. Let's say we want to get the first 5 rows in this record. Now, we say limit, then just input 5. And then you run the query. Now, you notice that we have only 5 rows which are displayed here. But let's make it more business related. Let's say that we've been asked to display the payment date. Okay, we've been asked to display maybe, let's say, the recent purchases on this platform. So this is the payment table, and it contains the customer ID, and it has the amount each of the customer paid, and it also has the payment date. And let's say, looking at this, we have 2007 on February 15 February 2007. First of all, let's order this table by payments. Right, let's order by the payment date. Okay, now if you execute this query, you notice that by default is in the ascending order. Right, it's in the ascending order. That's 2007 February 14. Now, if we happen to check it in the descending order, in the descending order, we have the 14th of May 2007. So these are the latest customer that purchased item from the DVD rental store. And these are the attached amounts which was purchased. Now, you've been asked to only get the top 5 or the first 5 customers that carried out recent purchases from this the DVD rental stores. Right, now all you have to do, we have to limit it to the first 5, and then you execute your query. Right, basically looking at this is showing us the 5 customers that made the recent purchases on this platform, and this can be, you can see their different payment dates here, the 14th of February 2007. And if you also look at the record, the amount column to say, you observe that we have values which are 0.0. That means the purchases here were free, or to say, but we want to get only the amount where the amount here is not equal to 0. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now, for us to do that, we have to apply the where statement here. And we said initially that the where comes after the select. Now, where amount is not equal to, remember to use our logical, or to say conditional operator, not equal to 0.00. Now, if you execute this query, So we are basically getting the 5 customers that made purchase, like the recent purchases from this DVD rental store, whose amount is not equal to 0. So this is basically how to filter out the necessary information from our database and in our payment table. So thank you so much, and we've basically covered the use of limits, and we've said that the limit helps us to limit the number of rows we want to fetch from our database, or we want to return for a certain query. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'm expecting to see you in my subsequent lectures.